Okay, so we in the fourth part of the learning the information that the Nevi'im bring us, give us on Gog Magog war. I'll just, because we have a very short time now, I'll just start from the point that we stopped last time. We saw basically two scenarios that appear in the Tanakh and the Nevi'im about this event called Milchemet Gog Magog. The first one was in Yechezkel, Perek Lamed Chet and Perek Lamed Tet. And the description over there, the Navi was asked by Hashem to address the entire scenario to Gog, which is the attacker. In Zechariah, Perek Yud Bet, Yud Gimel, Yud Daled, there is a description of the same event, but from the point of view of the Jewish nation that will be attacked. And we saw actually a lot of common description about what's going to happen, with one thing that last time we discussed it, seems like a change from Yechezkel, from the description of Yechezkel to the description of Zechariah. And this is what will be the results of how the Jewish people will go through this event. It seems that in Zechariah, it looks like will be casualties among the Jewish people. In Yechezkel, there is no mention to this at all, but we have to remember again that the Nevuah in Yechezkel addressed to the attacker. So it doesn't say anything if it will be or not casualties among the Jewish people in Eretz Israel. It still looked like a contradiction, and the way we try to understand why it's not contradict is to go to a different Navi, which is the Navi Malachi, the last Navi that we had, Ezra. That's his name in the Ketuvim, and in the Nevi'im his name is Malachi. And in the last parak of Malachi, he speaks about Achris Hayomim. He didn't speak about Milchemet Gog Magog particularly, but he speaks about events that are going to happen at the end of days. And he mentioned the fact that when we will get closer and closer to the redemption, to the ultimate Geula at the end of days, it will be big darkness. Spiritual, intellectual darkness, and people will question, Jews will question the Jewish faith. And it's mentioned over there that they will ask questions. The biggest question will be the question of Tzadik V'Ra Lo, Rasha V'Tov Lo. If Hashem is supervising what's going on, how it could be that wicked people will be successful and good people will be suffering. There's the question. It's a question by itself. It's not related just to the end of days. In general, we're trying to understand how Hashem running the world. But the Navi says that at the end of days, that will be the question. And because of this question, some people will say, you know what? Instead of putting a question mark at the end of the question, they will put a decision. You know what? This is it. There is no point to be good. Anything could happen to you, and there is no point to be wicked. I mean, there's no problem to be wicked. No one gonna pay for it. And those are the words that we saw last time. Let's repeat them. From Malachi, Perek Gimel. חזקו עלי דבריכם אמר השם ואמרתם מה נדברנו עליך. So he said that you're going to complain, and your complaint is annoying me, כביכול, says Hashem. And you will say, well, what did we say? So he described, אמרתם, שם אבות אלוקים ומה בצע כי שמרנו משמרתו וכי הלכנו כדורנית מפני השם צבאות. You'll sit over there, you speak about the Jewish people at the end of days, And you'll summarize the history and you'll ask yourself, what's the point to be Jewish? We just suffered for this. Anti-Semitism, Holocausts, pogroms. So, where's Hashem? What's the point to stay Jewish? So that's a question that the Navi says, it's gonna be the question of the end of days. מה בצע כי שמרנו משמרתו? What's the point to keep the Torah? וכי הלכנו כדורנית מפני השטפאות? We walking or we managing in darkness? ועתה אנחנו מאשרים זדים. We see that the wicked people successful. גם נבנו עושה רשעה. גם בחנו אלוהים וימלטו. They do not give they do not take God seriously in their life, and they do whatever they want, and they're successful. So because of this argument, many Jews will decide to leave Judaism. Leave meaning the way of Torah, to keep mitzvos. The Navi described it in advance. But he says the following: at the same time, when it will be so in to leave the Torah, will be another group in the Jewish nation that will stick to the truth. And he called them Yir'ei Hashem. The Navi called them Yir'ei Hashem, the people who fear from God. And the interesting thing about them, that it says in the next few verses, אז נדברו יראה השם איש על רעהו, ויקשב השם וישמע, ויכתב ספר זיכרון לפניו, ליראי השם ולחושבי שמו. Meaning, it will be a test, it will be a time of challenge. And the people who will stick to the truth and will be faithful to Hashem, their name will be written in a book. Hashem is going to write a book, and in this book will be the names of those people who are faithful to Him in the tough times, when it will be very popular to leave Judaism. Now, what's the purpose of writing this book and putting those names in the book? Here he said it. והיו לי אמר השם צבאות ליום אשר אני עושה סגולה וחמלתי עליהם כאשר יחמול איש על בנו העובד אותו. I will open this book in certain day. Day, it's not literally have to be a day. It's a certain time. ליום אשר אני עושה סגולה will be one day. That will be the day or the time. And at this time, I will open this book, and it will be very bad situation around the world. It will be the midat adin, the attribute of judgment, will demand to pay off everyone. And those people whose their name will be in this book will be saved. I will protect them. But be aware of the parallel that he brings over here. וחמלתי עליהם כאשר יחמול איש על בנו העובד אותו. I will have my mercy on them. I will protect them like a person who care about the son העובד אותו, that is faithful to him. Now, over here you have a very strong mashal, strong parallel that really could happen just in order to understand what the Navi says over here. So, imagine the following story. A couple, young couple, that got married in a very good, healthy way. They love each other, they were very idealistic, they decided to build a house, they understand their value of family, and they did everything to build. They were not lazy, they put all the effort to build a nice family. They had 3 children, 3 boys, one after another. They invest in their children everything, because they were really idealistic. The children was very successful in kindergarten, in school, elementary school, high school. Let's talk about Israel. So I used to give this lecture in Israel. So let's see. you know, in PTA they got the best report from all the teachers. Everyone loved their children. They are smart. They are dedicated. They are taking life seriously, and they're very successful. Good marks. Beautiful. So at the age of 18, the first one went to the army, served in the army 3 years, was very idealistic. After 3 years, he went to learn in college, university, and he decided to be a doctor. So his parents, of course, support, and he became a very successful doctor. In the beginning, he was, you know, in general, then he went to a specific thing. He became an international reputation surgeon. So the parents look at and have a lot of nachas from this particular one. The second one also went to the army. After the army, he decided to learn how to be a lawyer. He went to this area. He became a very successful lawyer. In the beginning, he was working for someone. Then he opened his own office. The next challenge for him was to be a judge, and he became a judge. And he became judge, you know, in a lower entity, and then he became one of the Supreme Court, very appreciated judge. Wow, also good, big success for the parents. They have a lot of nice. The third one, after he finished the 3 years in the army, decided that he wanted to continue in the army. So he signed that he's going to have an army career, and he was really good in what he's doing. So he went and became higher officer, and then he found himself in the Matkal, which is the chief, which is the highest form in the army, and he was in charge of very sensitive operations around the world in order to protect the Jewish people. So what could you say about those parents? They made it, right? They invest in the kids, and they see the fruits. They're amazing. Time passed, and at the age of 75, the mother passed away. The father stayed himself. He was working all his life, also was very appreciated by all the community. He became old, but he's still very clear in his mind. And he's 75 now, 76 without his wife. And another year passed, he became 80, 85, 90. He's old, but still functioning and very, very clear and very, very smart. Then at the certain age after that, you know, the physical condition got not in good shape, and he needed help. He could not be by himself. And here comes the challenge for the children. You know, this situation could happen in any family. And the question was what to do with the older father that now could not manage himself. He need assistance. So, because those kids really appreciate their parents, they tried to do Kibud Avim to the last moment, but it was impossible for them. They were very busy. The judge was so busy, the doctor was so busy, the officer in the army is very, very busy. Of course, when they got together to discuss what to do with the old father, one of the options was to send him to old people's house, you know. In a way, deep down, they felt that he probably did not like it. Because, yes, he was independent of his life. Now to send him, it's like to send him away, to get away from the burden. But practically, they could not take care of him themselves. So imagine a discussion in a room with these three brothers, what to do with the old father. And let's say the father is sitting in the other room without them knowing, listening to the discussion. So of course, when this option to send him to a nursery home came up, one of the brothers says, no way, we cannot do it. We cannot do it. He raised us, everything that we have is because of him and our mother, Aleh Shalom, so we cannot do it. I think we should, one of the brothers said, we should take care of him. Let's make terms, you'll take him for a week, I'll take him for another week, the other brother will take him for another week, and this way we'll not give him the feeling that we want to just get rid of the problem. Because we owe it to him. The other two brothers agree with him basically, but they say practically it's not going to work. We are too busy to do it. We cannot do it. So at the end of this meeting, they have to make a decision. And they made a decision. And the decision was, let's, vote for it. They were voting and it was 2 against 1. So apparently that's what they should do, right? To send him to a house. The one brother that was in the minority said, no way, I will never let it happen. You should do your effort to be sharing with me, as we said before, 1 week, 1 week, 1 week. But if you do not want to do it, I will do it myself. I will never send my father. I know that deep down he doesn't like it, and I think I could not do it for him. I will do it myself. They told him, listen, we really appreciate you, but we couldn't, your suggestion, but we could not be part of this. So he said, okay, I'll take him. So he took him. He took him for a week, for a month, for a year, and he became older and older. He's 96, 97. Clear completely in his head, but needs care every minute. This boy, the brother that took him, was mechabed him in a way that it's unbelievable. He never let him think that maybe he's a burden for him, even though he was super busy. Another year passed. Another year passed. He's 100. It seems that he is not even considering to die. And it continued. And it was really hard time for this brother, for his son, but he did everything. Again, not to give his father any feelings that maybe he is a burden on him. Okay. After a while, those 3 brothers has to go together for a business trip to Europe. So they went on a plane, they arranged, of course, this person that the father was in his house took care in advance that everything will be okay with the father. They're going for a few days to Europe to a very important business meeting. Some terrorists knew about this trip, and they decided to kidnap this plane. And they did it. They kidnapped the plane. The purpose was to get those 3 people, 3 brothers. They landed the plane in different place, not in the original destination, released everyone and hauled those 3 brothers. Now, what was the purpose of the terrorists? The terrorists knew that the father of those 3, which is the old man, 100 years old, knew something very, very important that those terrorists wants to know, and they knew that he will never give it to them willingly. So they kidnapped his kids. Now they kidnapped his kids and give him ultimatum. You have to answer us within a day if you're giving us this information. If you will not answer, within 24 hours, we gonna kill them. To show you that we are serious, we're giving you 12 hours to give us an answer. If within 12 hours you will not give us an answer, we're gonna kill 2 of them and leave only one for negotiation later. We could give you, because they were so cruel, they say, you know what, we'll give you the right to choose which one you want alive. Now, that was the message. He got the message. Of course, they tried maybe to catch the terrorists, to release them. It was impossible, and time passed, and we are now about an hour before the 12 hours gonna pass. Now they told him, either you tell us, or we are arbitrary, we'll kill two of them and we'll leave one for another 12 hours. So imagine the dilemma of the father. For a father or mother, children are children. There is no bad kid versus good kid. A children is a children. But if chas v'shalom someone is in this situation, and they know that there is no way, two of his children are lost. Now the question is who? It will be a huge dilemma, but it's up to him to decide. So, chas v'shalom, we should not wish this kind of dilemma to any of our enemies even. But if such a thing will happen, and this person, this old father, which is very clear in his mind, will have to decide. After all the dilemmas that he had, what do you think will be his decision at the end? If you have to save only one, which one he will save? So it's a marshal, it's just a parable, right? But probably he will save the one who was faithful to him. Because you have to think about the future also. Someone has to take care of him. But anyways, he deserved it even better because he was faithful. So this is very, very cruel parable, very. I just thought about it in order to understand what the Navi says over here. Kadosh Baruch Hu is our Father. Hashem says about the Jewish nation, B'ni b'chol Yisrael, Banim atem la'Hashem Elokechem. It's written in the Pasuk. You are the children of God. It says in the Torah. So here we are in the history. So our Father is Hashem. Our Father means because of Hashem, Hashem took us out of Mitzrayim. He made us a nation. He gave us a Torah. He gave us Eretz Yisrael. So when we were young, meaning as a nation, of course everything that we had is because of Him. But now, time passed. And he got old. And we are independent. We are now very successful people, right? At a certain point in the history of the Jewish nation, the children of Hashem, the Jewish people, will be in this dilemma, in this situation. Some of them will say, you know what, when he was young, back in the old time, he was really powerful, he made us miracles, and we saved because of him. But where is he recently? Look at all the anti-Semitism, all the pogroms, all the horrible things that the Jewish people going through. Where is God? Where is our Father? So some of them will say, you know what, maybe in the old time he was strong, but now let's send him to a nursery. Some people will say that. The other, even in this, or because of this hard time, will stick to be faithful to Hashem. Those are the ones that the Pasuk says over here, called Yir'eh Hashem. Nidberu ish el re'ehu. They will talk to each other. They will be faithful to Hashem even when He is not shown and His strength is not there. It's not shown. It's hidden. Hashem is there. He is strong, and He is supervising everything. There is time of galus. Galus is not just when people are not in their land, when things are not in their place. So we are now in the last hundreds years, we are in galus. And we see what the Jewish nation going through. And we saw about 300 years ago, approximately, 250, the Enlightenment movement. Jews who came and say exactly what the Navi said. This is amazing, by the way. If you read again what Malachi said over here חזקו עלי דבריכם אמר השם, ואמרתם מה נדברנו עליך. Those are exactly the words of the enlightenment people. שב עבוד אלוקים. There's no point to keep the mitzvahs anymore. מה בעצם כי שמרנו משמרתו? What's the point? You know why they hate us? Because we are different. Let's be like them. That's exactly what they said. So, see, this nevuah is amazingly fulfilled. And many Jews left. They do not want to keep Torah, to keep mitzvahs. They broke their covenants with Hashem. But at those very time, we have a group of Yir'ei Hashem that have to be mechazek each other to go in the ways of Hashem, even though it seems not popular and what's the point of it. And the Navi says, will be a time, will be a day, ליום אשר אני עושה סגולה, והיו לי אמר השם צבאות ליום אשר אני עושה סגולה, and at this day, midat adin, the attribute of judgment, will demand to pay off everyone, and then I will have Kivyachol Hashem say no choice, because the attribute of judgment is right. And I have to save. Who I'm going to save? I'm going to save those who their names are in this book. Who in the tough time, in the darkness, when it's not clear spiritually what's the truth, were faithful, those are the ones that I'm going to save. Then he says, ושבתם וראיתם, ואז the next verses, בין צדיק לרשע, בין עובד אלוהים לאשר לא עבדו. Then you will see that the question that they asked, and because of it they left the covenant of Hashem, צדיק ורע לו, רשע וטוב לו, it will not be anymore. Will be no צדיק ורע לו. Will be no רשע וטוב לו, because the attribute of judgment will make everyone to pay for his deeds. So the wicked will pay off. It will not be worth to be rasha, to be wicked. And the tzaddikim will be in a good shape, in the right place. So it will be one day that everything will be clear. But in this day, the truth will be revealed and the wicked will be vanished. Not just the wicked and the wickeds. So anyone who was testing God and ignoring Him, at this time, when this time will come, they will have no merits to be saved. Those are the words, the last words of the Nevuah. Actually, if you go to the end of this chapter, which is the last pasuk in the Nevi, it says the following. Those are the last few psukim in the Tanakh, in the Nevi. Zichru Torah Moshe Avdi. Who's talking? Navi Malachi, which is the last Navi. So he just refer you to the first Navi, Moshe Rabbeinu. And Hashem says through Malachi, at those days, at the end of days, remember the Torah that I gave you with Moshe Rabbeinu. Zichru Torah Moshe Avdi asher tziviti oto b'chorev al kol Yisrael, chukim u'mishpatim. So it will be very important at the end of days to know that the Torah is still relevant. And this is the only way for you to be saved. And then he said another thing. הנה אנוכי שולח לכם את אליה הנביא לפני בוא יום השם הגדול והנורא. I'm going to send Eliyahu. Eliyahu Navi, he was the only Navi, only prophet that stayed or survived from the time of the Nevuah. All the Nevi'im, all the prophets passed away. But Eliyahu went to Besara Shemaima. And here there is a promise that Hashem is going to send it. לפני בוא יום השם הגדול והנורא. Before the big day. It's called Hagadol, the great, והנורא. And a day of awe. Before this day, which is the day that we spoke about before, I'm going to give it the last chance by sending Eliyahu. What for? To give you the last chance to do tshuva. הנה אנוכי שולח לכם את אליה הנביא לפני בוא יום השם הגדול והנורא והשיב לב אבות על בנים ולב בנים על אבותם. That will be the last chance for the people who left to come back, to return. And it's not ending over here. You know the song? It's a famous song, הנה אנוכי שולח לכם את אליה הנביא. So the song ended over here. והשיב לב אבות על בנים ולב בנים על אבותם. But the pasuk continue. You know what's the last few words? They're terrible. פן אבוא והכיתי את הארץ חרב. If not, if you will not take this last chance, I'm going to come and I'm going to destruct the land. Those are the last psukim in the Nevuah. Before Hashem closed this channel called Nevuah, this is the last message. The last message speaks about Acharit Hayamim and speaks about people, Jewish people, that some of them will get off the covenant that we signed with Hashem in Sinai. Then will come events. He didn't say in this psukim what event is he referring to. What is the meaning Layom asher ani oseh sgula? What is the meaning Lifnei bo yom Hashem hagadol ve'hanora? But it refers to the events that are going to happen at the end of days. And at the end of days, we said there is a whole list of things that are going to happen. One of them is the war of Gog and Magog. And now we could just try to understand what will be the best choice for us at the time. And we are now very close to the events. We see what's going on in the world. We have to make sure that our names will be in this book. But we should not be selfish. It's not just to take care of ourselves, our families. We have to take care of our friends. We have to take care of the entire nation. Many people left and they didn't even know why they left. And they do not know what will be the consequences. Therefore, it's up to us, and this is probably what's the engine that Eliyahu Navi gonna operate. Make people learn what Judaism is all about and give them the chance to come back, because this is the only insurance. This is the only insurance. Hashem says, "V'chamalti aleim kasher yachmol ish al bno ha'oved oto." So the only way that Hashem will save us from this big war, Milchemet Gog Magog, which seems that we could do nothing in order to save ourselves. It's be impossible. Only Hashem could save us. And Hashem promised, I'm going to save those who will be deserved to be saved. So this is the thing. And this is the book. And actually that could explain the seems to be contradiction between the description of Yechezkel to the description of Zechariah. It's not clear-cut because there is free will. And it's not predestined who will be saved and who will not. It's up to the choice that people will do in the time when it will be relevant. Therefore, theoretically, it could be that no Jew will be harmed. Not even one, if everyone will understand the message and come back to Hashem. But if not, Chas v'shalom, when the Gog and the entire ideology of Kfira will be vanished, everyone that will hold in this philosophy will be vanished too, even though he could be a Jew. So this is the thing that I think, because of it, it was worth to learn the entire sugya over here, the entire thing about Milchemet Gog Magog. It's not just for curiosity. It's something that's really relevant to us, to our fellow Jews all over the world. So there is something about this book. Let me just finish with referring to different places in the Tanakh that this mystery book that Malachi mentioned over here, אז נדברו ירא השם איש אלוהיו ויקשר השם וישמע ויכתב ספר זיכרון לפניו. I want to show you that this book mentioned in few places in the Tanakh. All of them refer to the end of days. And let's see, there are not too many places, about maybe 3 or 4. In Sefer Daniel, Daniel is not in the Nevi'im but in the Ksurim, Daniel. And Daniel saw many visions about the future. In Sefer Daniel Perek Yud Bet, it says the following: Uva'et ha'i. Ba'et ha'i, this is the time of Milchemet Gog Magog. That's how the Zohar explained this. Ba'et ha'i. Uva'et ha'i ya'amod Michael השר הגדול, העומד על בני עמך. Michael is one of the angels upstairs that through him Hashem give things or supervise the Jewish nation. ובעת ההיא יעמוד מיכאל השר הגדול העומד על בני עמך, והייתה עת צרה אשר לא נהיית מהיות גוי עד העת ההיא. It will be a terrible time that never happened in the history of the world to any nation. And the Zohar explained that it's referring to מלחמת גוג ומגוג. ובעת ההיא יעמוד מיכאל השר הגדול ועומד על בני עמך והייתה יצרה אשר לא נהיית מגוי עד העת ההיא, ובעת ההיא ימלט עמך כל הנמצא כתוב בספר. Who will be survived from Amcha, meaning from the Jewish nation? Those whose names are in this book. כל הנמצא כתוב בספר. So, in Daniel Yud we see mentioning again the book that Malachi mentioned in Malachi Gimel. Another place is Yeshayahu Perek Dalet. Also, you speak clearly at the end of days over there, and it says the following: ביום ההוא יהיה צמח השם, לצבי ולכבוד, ופרי הארץ לגאון ולתפארת, לפלטת ישראל. So you speak about the redemption of the Jewish nation at the end of days. They will go to Eretz Israel at the end of time, and it will, the land will be flourishing and everything will be good. והיה, הנשאר בציון, והנותר בירושלים, קדוש יאמר לו. כל הכתוב לחיים בירושלים. כל הכתוב, meaning it's written somewhere. It's written in the book, in the same book. So those who will be in this book will be survived and will get the all goodness that Hashem promised us to the end of days. Another place is Yoel. נבואת יואל in פרק ג' ונתתי מופתים בשמיים ובארץ. דם ואש ותמרות עשן. השמש יהפוך לחושך והירח לדם. לפני בוא יום השם הגדול והנורא. So we mention again this day as Malachi described it. יום השם הגדול והנורא. And והיה כל אשר יקרא בשם השם ימלט. Only the one who will cry out to Hashem and be reconnected to Hashem, they will be survived. כי בהר ציון ובירושלים תהיה פליטה, כאשר אמר השם ובשרידים אשר השם קורא. So we find this book in different places. I show over here 4 places in the Tanakh that mention this book. The idea of this book is a challenge or a test that's going to be at the end of days when everything will be not clear, and those who will be faithful, loyal to Hashem in those very hard times, those are the ones who will be survived. Actually, that's the thing that I had to complete from the last few lectures. And again, if I summarize it, I think it's more than there is a curiosity, because everyone wants to know what Magog and Magog is. More than just curiosity, it's important because it's relevant, and we, every day that passed, making us closer to the events, right? So because of that, we have to really be Yir'ei Hashem. We have to be mechazek ish et re'ehu, because it's not, you need a support group for the truth. Because the entire world around us is just so off the truth. We're talking about the entire world and even the Jewish world. So those who knows the truth should be strong by making groups like that, getting together, learning Torah, being mitchazek in mitzvot, and being connected to Hashem. And again, don't be selfish. We have to give this chance to any Jew in the world. And this is the Kiruv movement that's so important to be done today. Okay, that's it, and thank you for
so much.
Thank you. And I hope it will be לתועלת. We learn something that could be mechazek us. Thank you.
Thank you. Going forward.